Renault's entire identity, innovation for everyone. They're the brand that refuses to gatekeep clever tech behind luxury badges. Their star player, the Clio, is Europe's best-selling car with over 17 million sold worldwide since 1990. That's the best-selling French car ever. In 2025, it topped European sales charts 4 different months. The new 6th-generation Clio rocks a 160-horsepower E-Tech hybrid powertrain that drives short distances in pure electric mode. But here's the kicker. Renault's literally creating carbon-neutral fuel from microalgae and pushing for 90% electric vehicles in Europe by 2030. They're building 1,000 Clios per day in Turkey. That's democracy in action, my friends. Affordable innovation that actually works. Second is Citroën. If Renault democratizes, Citroën weirdifies. These are the French eccentrics who built cars suspended on hydraulics so smooth they could drive over eggs without cracking them. Their philosophy? Advanced comfort. Not just seats, but your entire experience feeling like a cocoon. In 2026, they're going full brutalist with vertical wall front ends and interiors with recycled sofa-like materials. While everyone else softens their designs, Citroën's making vehicles that look like architectural statements. The C5 Aircross literally has cushions that feel like your living room couch. It's bold. It's polarizing. It's so French it hurts. Fun fact, their classic DS once had hydraulic suspension that could raise and lower the car and even change a flat tire by jacking itself up. Third is Peugeot. Peugeot is Citroën's cooler, more sophisticated sibling. They're all about motion and emotion, with restraint. Think elegant design, those famous 3-claw LED lights that became the industry's signature, and the iCockpit, where a compact steering wheel sits below the instrument cluster, making you feel like a fighter pilot instead of a commuter. The 208 and 2008 dominate European sales charts year after year. Their new models use recycled materials without compromising premium feel. Peugeot doesn't shout, they refine. They're not trying to be the quirkiest or fastest. They're the one you'd actually choose to live with every day while still turning heads at the parking lot. French elegance without the drama. Fourth is Cadillac. Cadillac's story is pure redemption. They spent decades building land yachts for country clubs, then completely reinvented themselves. Modern Cadillac is all bold angles, OLED screens that curve around you like sci-fi cockpits, and magnetic ride control that reads the road 1,000 times per second. Tech they literally invented. The Lyric electric SUV starts around $58,000 and delivers 314 miles of range with stunning looks. The ultra-luxury Celestiq? That's a $300,000 plus hand-built electric flagship limited to a few hundred units yearly. They're going all in on electric to prove American luxury can be cutting-edge, not just comfortable. The Escalade still dominates the luxury SUV game, but Cadillac is fighting for respect with tech, not nostalgia. Fifth is Alfa Romeo. Here's the thing about Alfa Romeo. They've always prioritized how a car makes you feel over how reliable it is. Italian passion over German precision. Their philosophy is la meccanica dell'emozione, the mechanics of emotion. The Giulia Quadrifoglio packs a 505 horsepower twin-turbo V6 and lapped the Nürburgring in 7 minutes and 32 seconds, a record for a 4-door sedan at the time. Every Alfa, from that iconic triangular grille to the Giulia's perfect 50-50 weight distribution, is designed to stir something in you. Yes, they've had reliability issues. Yes, dealers are rare, but Alfa owners don't care because when that engine sings and that steering responds with razor precision, logic takes a backseat. They're the automotive equivalent of a passionate romance. Intense, occasionally problematic, but utterly unforgettable. Sixth is Saab. Saab is gone, but its legend lives forever. These were aerospace engineers who decided to make cars, and boy did it show. Ignition keys mounted between the seats so you wouldn't knee yourself in a crash, turbocharging before it was cool, wraparound windshields for maximum visibility, heated seats that actually worked in Swedish winters. Everything Saab did was logical, safe, and brilliantly unconventional. The 9.3 and 9.5 had dashboards inspired by fighter jet cockpits. They had a cult following because Saab owners weren't just buying transportation, they were joining a club of people who appreciated thoughtful engineering over flashy badges. RIP to the weirdest, most lovable engineers in the car business. There's still no replacement for the Saab mindset. Seventh is Opel. Opel is what happens when Germany makes cars for normal people. No pretense, no engineering flex, just solid, sensible vehicles that get the job done without the BMW price tag. Think of them as the quiet achiever. They're now under Stellantis, sharing platforms with Peugeot, but they've always had that distinct German practicality. In markets where they're sold as Vauxhall, UK, the vibe is the same. Dependable, affordable, quietly competent. They're not trying to wow you. They're trying not to let you down. Eighth is Infiniti. Infiniti is Nissan's luxury brand, and honestly, they've struggled to figure out who they are. Launched to compete with Lexus and Acura, they've made some genuinely interesting cars. The Q60 is stunning, and they pioneered variable compression engines, but they lack a clear identity. Are they sporty, luxurious, tech-forward? The market doesn't know, and that's the problem. In some regions, they've pulled out entirely. Infiniti has the potential, but without a defining philosophy, they're just floating. Ninth is Mitsubishi. Mitsubishi built their reputation on one thing: going where others won't. Rally heritage with the legendary Lancer Evolution, 10 generations of all-wheel drive perfection, rugged SUVs like the Pajero that conquered the Dakar Rally multiple times, and they pioneered affordable plug-in hybrid tech years before it was trendy with the Outlander PHEV. They're the brand that doesn't need to be fancy, they need to work. Mitsubishi is for people who need reliability in harsh conditions, who value function over form. They're not flashy, and their current lineup is admittedly small. But when everyone else's fancy tech breaks down in the snow or mud, Mitsubishi keeps moving forward. 10th is Suzuki. Suzuki's philosophy: make it small, light, affordable, and fun. They're the anti-bloat brand. While everyone else adds tech and weight, Suzuki strips it down. The Jimny weighs just 2,535 pounds and costs under $20,000 in most markets, a tiny off-roader that can climb mountains. The Swift is pure driving joy in a budget package. In markets like India, they dominate because they understand what people actually need: affordable mobility that doesn't sacrifice quality or fun. The Hayabusa motorcycle proves they know speed, too. Suzuki isn't trying to compete with luxury brands. They're trying to get the world moving, one lightweight, efficient, smile-inducing vehicle at a time. 11th is Mazda. Mazda has one religion: Jinba Itai, Japanese for the oneness between horse and rider. Every Mazda, from the $29,000 Mazda 3 to the MX-5 Miata, the world's best-selling roadster with over 1 million sold, is engineered to make you feel the road and create a genuine connection. Their Kodo soul of motion design makes even parked Mazdas look alive. The new CX-90 uses inline-6 engines when everyone else went Turbo 4. At Japan Mobility Show 2025, they debuted carbon-neutral fuel tech where driving actually cleans the air through CO2 capture. About 70% of Mazda owners say they'd buy another Mazda. That's cult-level loyalty. While others chase power numbers or tech gimmicks, Mazda chases joy. They don't just build cars, they build relationships between driver and machine. Mazda's not the fastest or fanciest, but they might make you smile the most. 12th is Škoda. Škoda is proof you can be affordable without being cheap. Under VW Group, they share platforms with Audi and VW but undercut them on price, while often offering more space and features. The Octavia and Kodiaq dominate European sales. Simply clever is their mantra. Umbrellas hidden in door pockets, ice scrapers built into fuel caps, door edge protectors, little innovations that make life easier. Škoda doesn't need premium badges or fancy marketing. They just need to be the most sensible, well-thought-out choice in the room. And they consistently are. It's smart engineering without the premium tax. 13th is MG. MG used to be British roadsters and vintage charm. Now, they're Chinese-owned and bringing shockingly affordable electric vehicles to global markets. The MG4 Electric starts at just £26,000 in the UK, undercutting rivals by thousands while delivering 200-plus miles of range and solid tech. It's a complete brand rebirth. Old MG fans might not recognize the badge, but new buyers don't care about heritage. They care about getting an EV for the price of a used Honda Civic. MG's betting that price and practicality trump prestige. And in markets where EVs still cost $50,000 plus, they're proving that bet right. Legacy means nothing when you're saving £10,000. 14th is Chrysler. Chrysler once represented American innovation. Now they're down to one model, the Pacifica minivan. And to be fair, it's a great minivan. Stow-and-go seating, hybrid powertrains, family hauling done right. But a one-model brand has no identity beyond that product. Stellantis promises an electric future for Chrysler, but right now, they're barely hanging on. They're comfort-focused, family-oriented, and struggling to stay relevant in a market that's moved on. 15th is GMC. GMC sits in an interesting spot, more premium than Chevy, less luxurious than Cadillac. They're professional grade, targeting buyers who want truck capability with upscale interiors. The Sierra with multi-pro tailgates, Hummer EV with crab walk mode, Yukon with executive-level features. GMC isn't about being the cheapest or the most capable. They're about being the trucks and SUVs that feel like an upgrade without hitting full luxury pricing. Work-first mentality wrapped in leather. 16th is Lexus. Lexus doesn't compete, they obsess. When they launched in 1989, they aimed to out-quiet, out-smooth, out-luxury the Germans. And they did. Every Lexus is about refinement, silent cabins, bulletproof reliability, that obsessive attention to detail. Their hybrid tech is decades proven. Their craftsmanship is meticulous. But they've also been criticized for being too conservative, too focused on comfort over excitement. Recently, with models like the LC500 and the new RZ EV, they're trying to inject more emotion. But make no mistake, Lexus will always prioritize perfection over passion. 17th is Genesis. Genesis is Hyundai's answer to luxury without the luxury tax. The G90 starts around $90,000 with features that would cost $150,000. Massaging seats, 23-speaker audio, and rear-wheel steering. They're gorgeous. Seriously. The design team came from Bentley and Lamborghini, and they come with warranties that make German brands look stingy. But here's the caveat. Luxury isn't just about what you get, it's about perception. Genesis makes incredible cars, but they're still fighting for the respect that badges like BMW earn over decades. They're the value proposition for people who care more about what they're getting than the status symbol on the hood. And that market? It's growing fast. 18th is Jaguar. Jaguar is one of the most beautiful brands with one of the most uncertain futures. Gorgeous designs, rich heritage, but commercially they've struggled for years. Now they're pivoting to all-electric luxury which is bold but risky. Can they maintain that British elegance while competing with Tesla and Porsche? Can they solve the reliability concerns that have haunted them? Jaguar has the style, they just need to figure out the substance in this new EV world. 3/4 done, we've seen legacy brands reinventing themselves and upstarts challenging the establishment. Now, we finish with the absolute madmen, the performance obsessives. 19th is Alpine. Alpine is Renault's performance division reborn with one lightweight, agile, racing DNA. The A110 weighs just 2,432 pounds. That's lighter than a Mazda MX-5 and dances through corners like a ballet dancer with a 292 horsepower mid-mounted Turbo 4. While everyone else adds power, mass, and tech, Alpine strips away excess. They're proof you don't need 700 horsepower to have fun. You need balance, precision, and a chassis that talks to you. Their Formula One team informs everything they build. Alpine is the thinking person's sports car brand, and they're bringing that philosophy into the electric future with upcoming EVs that promise to keep that lightweight magic alive. 20th is Automobili Pininfarina. Pininfarina designed some of the most beautiful Ferraris in history for other brands. Now they're building their own. The Battista is a $2.2 million electric hypercar with 1,900 horsepower that does 0 to 60 in 1.79 seconds. That's faster than falling production. Just 150 units worldwide. This is design-first thinking taken to the stratosphere. Everything is about proportion, flow, Italian elegance with mind-bending performance underneath. It looks like rolling sculpture, but will hit 217 miles per hour in near silence. Pininfarina proves electric hypercars don't have to look like angry robots from the future. They can be pure, timeless art. When the battery tech fades, the design will still take your breath away. 21st is Hennessy. Hennessy is obsessed with one thing: going stupidly, insanely fast. They take already fast cars and turn them into land missiles. The Venom F5 packs an 1,817 horsepower twin-turbo V8, and they're chasing 311 miles per hour. Yes, over 300 miles per hour. They put 1,000 horsepower Hellcat-powered engines in everything, even Cadillac Escalades. It's pure American excess. No finesse, no apologies. Just raw, outrageous power delivered with a Texas-sized grin. They're the brand that hears "that's impossible" and responds with "hold my sweet tea." Every Hennessy is a middle finger to reasonable engineering limits and a love letter to those who think 200 miles per hour is boring. If it's not terrifying, Hennessy isn't interested. 22nd is Zenvo. Zenvo is tiny, exclusive, and wonderfully weird. This Danish hypercar maker builds cars with twin supercharged V8s, making 1,177 horsepower and wild aerodynamics. The TSRS has an active rear wing that tilts side to side during cornering. It literally acts as an air rudder. Nobody else does this. They're not chasing volume. Production is around 5 to 15 cars per year each. Basically a custom project. Priced around $1.5 to $2 million, Zenvo experiments with tech bigger brands wouldn't risk. They're proof you don't need Italian heritage or German precision to build insane supercars. Just vision, engineering talent, and complete disregard for playing it safe. Copenhagen's answer to Pagani. 23rd is Pagani. Horacio Pagani doesn't build cars, he sculpts automotive art. Every Pagani is handcrafted, obsession incarnate. The Huayra starts at $2.6 million base, but with customization can easily hit $3 to $6 million. Here's the insane part. One Huayra had over $335,000 in options alone, and customers have paid $170,000 for a single dashboard clock. Yes, just the clock. Each car uses carbon fiber woven like fabric, titanium exhaust systems weighing under 22 pounds total, and AMG V12 engines tuned to perfection. The Utopia, their newest masterpiece, starts at $2.19 million with an 852 horsepower V12 and the option of a manual transmission. Pagani proves cars can be high art. 24th is Rimac. Rimac arrived and embarrassed everyone. The Nevera isn't just electric, it's the fastest accelerating production car on Earth, 0 to 60 in 1.81 seconds. But here's the real kicker. Rimac supplies batteries and powertrains to Porsche, Aston Martin, Hyundai, and more. Rimac started in his garage in Croatia and built an EV empire. The Nevera costs around $2.4 million, and they're only making 150 units. Tech so advanced, it drives itself around the Nürburgring for testing. Rimac proves electric doesn't mean boring, it means total domination. While Tesla made EVs mainstream, Rimac made them hypercar royalty. They're not the future, they're the now, and everyone else is scrambling to catch up. 25th is Koenigsegg. And finally, Koenigsegg, the Swedish mad scientist who refuses to accept any engineering limitation. Christian Koenigsegg's Jesko packs a 5.0-liter twin-turbo V8, making 1,600 horsepower on E85 fuel, paired with a 9-speed light-speed transmission that shifts faster than you can blink. Literally. The Jesko Absolute is gunning for 330 miles per hour. But here's the kicker. The Gemera is a 4-seater family car with 1,700 horsepower, base, starting at $1.7 million. So there you have it, 25 brands, 25 philosophies. From Renault's 17 million selling Clio to Pagani's $170,000 dashboard clocks. Drop your brand loyalty in the comments and tell me which car detail from this video blew your mind the most.